G'day everyone, it's Courtesy and welcome to an On The Back Wheel video. Today I'm reviewing the Sizzapp GPS tracker, namely the GPS Max. Before we get stuck in, if you haven't, make sure you click that subscribe button and check out my other content. It really helps grow the channel and create more content like this. So what is Sizzapp? Well, it's an app and GPS tracker for your motorcycle. Technically, you can use it for any vehicle or anything that can even supply power to it, but it's specifically designed for motorcycles. It allows you to monitor your vehicle in real time using a 4G LTE signal. A good thing is there is a one-off purchase price, meaning there's no ongoing subscription or contract, so you just pay your money and you're done. Speaking of money, the purchase price for the GPS Max is 477 Australian dollars. The tracker is pretty small. It's 70 by 67 millimeters, and then you've got the socket and then the cable that goes off that with the positive and negative to hook up to your battery. Personally, I've put mine under the seat. It comes with double-sided tape, so I just stuck it in a spot under the seat where you put a little toolbox. It needs to be supplied power, and I've done that by attaching it to the battery terminals. This is the way Sizzapp recommends, and it's been designed, but you could easily, hook it up to a different power source and a separate ground as well. When you buy one, it's nice and simple. You get the device in a box and an IMEI number. How that works is you download the app, punch in your details and the IMEI number, and then it activates it. Mine actually didn't work initially, so I sent them an email through their support services through their website. I did it that way deliberately because I had a contact with Sizzapp, but I thought, no, I'll do it through the right way to see what a normal customer kind of would get. They fixed it up on their end. I think it was overnight, so it was pretty good that the service seems to be there as well. So what does the tracker actually do? There's a fair bit going on here between the tracker and the app. The main feature is the real-time tracking. But on top of that, you can check your battery level. And man, when I had this connected up to Ash's 10RA 700, the battery on that was cooked, so I was getting constant alerts. It's got a motion detector, speed, altitude, geofences. It lets you know if your bike has been a crash or hit. You can share rides, including GPX files or a PNG file, and a few other things. Things I have found to be most useful are the real-time tracking, being able to look at your trips and save them to a GPX file, and also sharing my location. Since I've been doing some more remote adventure riding where I'm going in and out of reception, and I seem to have a knack of breaking things, my wife just wants to know where I am, if I'm okay. So she's really liked the tracker. I presume it's because she doesn't want to be a single parent, something like that. So on my last ride, I actually shared my location with her. You can do it for a certain amount of time, 1 hour, 2 hours, etc., or forever. All right, let's go out into the bush and see if it actually works. So I'm out in the middle of nowhere in the border ranges of New South Wales, and I thought this would be the perfect time to test out the Sizzapp and see if it gets reception out here when you have no actual reception. So I fired up the app. I'll show you that now. So what I'm going to do is hit the find button. Boom, straight onto it. I am in the Tweed Range Scenic Drive, and it's exactly where I am at the lookout. So it definitely works when you're out in the middle of nowhere. Funny story, it didn't actually work. Well, the tracker was working fine, but on my wife's end, she wasn't able to use the link. Turns out I just had to click this button called active when I shared it, and then it worked perfectly fine. So if you do get one and a person on the other end, it's not working for them, just make sure you select active. On that particular ride, I was going in and out of reception regularly. I was curious to know if it actually tracked me properly because it does use a 4G signal. So what I've done is downloaded the GPX file from the app. It saves your ride. So each time you go for a ride, you select a date and it's got like where you've ridden. So I've downloaded a GPX file, which is pretty cool. What's interesting is I've had a look on Gaia. I've imported it into there. It's actually saved it into sections. So if I've stopped to get fuel or, I was talking to someone or taking photos or something like that and stopped for a period of time, it's cut that into individual sections, which is pretty cool. And also it seems to have worked really spot on. I've had a look. I knew exactly where I went. It's mostly on roads or dirt roads that I can look at. It's spot on with where I went. There's a couple of places I was looking at. I was like, why did I go that way? I could have halved a section if I just cut through. Maybe it was a really good track or something, I don't know. The tracker does need power to work. If your battery completely dies or gets disconnected, there is a battery backup that they say lasts for 3 hours. I personally haven't been able to test that. In terms of battery drain, when your bike isn't being used, it goes into a deep sleep mode that doesn't use as much power, which is pretty good. I haven't found the battery drain to be an issue. In saying that, I commute roughly 3 times a week to and from work, and then I do regular rides. So battery drain or battery levels are never an issue for me. I never get flat batteries. If you are someone who rides, say, once a month, I would recommend you leave it on a battery tender just in case. So I'm not sure if you remember, but a couple of rides ago, I actually lost it. Short version, left it on the Tenere 700. Ash gave it back to me and I was going to hook it up at the end of the ride, but didn't get a chance. Got a hole in the luggage, it fell out in the middle of the bush. It's pretty sturdy and hardy because it was there for about 3 days and I went back and got it. Worked perfectly fine when I hooked it back up. So seems to be pretty good build quality. So there you have it. That's my review for the Sizzapp GPS tracker. I really like it. It seems to be a good product. It's easy enough to use the app. It's easy to connect. They've done well. And most importantly, it's reliable, which is what you want from a GPS tracker. I still have to test it in a really remote area where I know I'm going to be like a whole day out of reception. There's not many places like that anymore, but if I do, I'll put a pin down in the comments down below and let you know how it went. So what do you think of the GPS tracker? Is it something you would be interested in? If you are, Sizzapp has provided a discount code and I'll put that down below. All right, that's it from me, everyone. If you like this video, make sure you hit that subscribe button and check out my other content. Keep it on the back wheel. Catches.